Comments on that. I request my guests to stay on with me. Now, an explosive report, viewers, suggests that Pakistan has deployed 8,000 troops, a squadron of fighter jets and an air defense system to Saudi Arabia under a mutual defense pact, ramping up military cooperation with Riyadh even as Islamabad serves as a main mediator in the Iran war. The deployment has reportedly been confirmed by 3 security officials and 2 government sources, all of whom described it as a substantial combat-capable force intended to support Saudi Arabia's military if the kingdom comes under further attack. Remember, this comes barely a week after a report cited U.S. officials as stating that Islamabad allowed Iranian fighter jets to park in its airbase to allegedly help them avoid U.S. strikes, even as it was actively acting as mediator between Iran and the U.S. The big question now is that does Pakistan want the war to end, or does it want it to continue? How can Pakistan portray itself as a negotiator while actively providing situations for the war to escalate? And that brings me to my next question with you, Ambassador Gupta. Pakistan, a terror nation, is acting as a mediator, but this development that has come in, what do you have to say about that?
Basali, we all know that Pakistan is, well qualified to be double crossing and triple crossing in the international arena. They have been doing it, blatantly, and world is still accepting it. I don't know why. The U.S. president, the current president, in his one of the tweets, when he was president last time, had described Pakistani behavior as total betrayal, despite, providing them $3 billion. Now, the same president is now accepting them as mediator. I don't know why. And naturally, he will be now repenting over this, because Pakistan also provided shelter to the Iranian aircrafts, fighter aircrafts and civilian aircrafts at Noor Khan Air Base. This is now public. This has been publicized in the US media. And now the Pakistani authorities are sending troops to Saudi Arabia. There was a report earlier also that they have sent 13,000 troops. So whether it is 13,000 or 8,000, the troops are going there and they are being deployed. And obviously, if Iran attacks Saudi Arabia, then Pakistani troops will have to fight against Iran. So we don't know why, Pakistanis are adopting this kind of, approach. They are completely unreliable. They have always been promoting terror all the time. All the terrorist organizations in the world are based in Pakistan. They are trained, they are financed, and they are infiltrated by Pakistani authorities. And in fact, they are part of their military establishment in many ways. You will find the Pakistani footprint in all the terror attacks anywhere in the world. And there is no terror attack where you will not find Pakistani footprint. But despite that, these countries are accepting Pakistan as mediator. It is surprising, but ultimately they will have to suffer and they will repent over what they have done, as they have done in the past. Let us see how the things move further. If the Iran is attacked, and if Iran tries to attack GCC states, obviously Pakistan will have to defend Saudi Arabia, and that time things will come out, what should be done, what should not be done. So I think this is part of the double and triple crossing of Pakistan, in which they have excelled in the last 3-4 decades. Over to you, Vasily.
Major General Anuj Mathur, of course, is a very senior defense expert. I want to bring you in and I want to talk to you about the deployment, because Pakistan has deployed a full squadron of around 16 aircrafts, mostly JF-17 fighters, made jointly with China. And we're also getting an information that Chinese HQ-9 air defense systems will also be deployed if needed. If you could explain that to our viewers, sir, and I'd like your comments on this development.
Vaishali, look, this thing was known that they have already deployed this kind of force there. It is a divisional size force, which is a very, very sizable force. And I have earlier too, that this force is not there just to, fight the Houthis or something of that kind. This force is definitely there to be used against any aggressor, and that any aggressor, I mean, there are no prizes for guessing, it is Iran, and this is very, very clearly known that this force is over there, because again under pressure, I can tell you that it is again under pressure from the United States of America, because they probably have not been able to provide the kind of air defense and kind of security to Saudi Arabia with their presence in Saudi Arabia. So possibly it is there to augment that defense infrastructure architecture which America has created in Saudi Arabia. One thing I want to tell you, see, all the geopolitical acrobatics which the Pakistanis are now doing, this geopolitical acrobatic is because of the fact that everything that Pakistan does has a tone of anti-India activity in it without any kind of doubt. Now this also, they are doing all this arrangement so that they can prevent India from going in for an offensive against them. One thing is very clear, the kind of clobbering they have got at the hands of India in Operation Sindoor, they are totally now aware that they cannot stand against India in this kind of unconventional outbreak of hostilities. So they are wanting to make sure that by creating this kind of alignments, they will be able to tell these people who they are now helping with troops that they prevent India from attacking them. That is very, very clear. Now, the utilization of these troops will be against Iran. Iran knows it. Utilization of these troops, this cannot be for anything else there. So Iran also is now aware. So the thing which the Pakistanis were doing, Vaishali, they have been dumped yesterday by Donald Trump that he did a mistake, and he says, I have done a favor to Pakistan by listening to them and to go in for this ceasefire. They have dumped Pakistan as far as this mediation role is concerned. Iran in any case is aware, and for the second round of talks, Iran did not even send the Americans did not even send their delegation there. So this kind of thing was designed for something else. And this is exactly what the Pakistanis were fearing, that they may be asked to operate against Iran should there be a requirement. And exactly the same thing has happened. These troops are there not to do anything else but to operate against Iran. And that MQ-9, if they have to deploy there, I'm sure they have already done it, because if they've taken their aircraft, one squadron of fighter jets, they have to be accompanied by air defense assets, otherwise those fighter jets will not be safe over there. So my take is that Pakistan, as always, is losing in all possible ways, both militarily and geopolitically, Vaishali.
Right. I'll come back to both my guests now. Pakistan's package to Saudi Arabia